In the last session, we have seen about the development strategy for the numerical relay. So, in this session, we will see what is the block diagram or the working principle of a numerical relay. What is the functional block diagram of a numerical relay? If you could see the functional block diagram aspects, you will have a analog signal block from the current transformer and the potential transformer. Then you have the anti-aliasing filter block, then sample and hold circuit block, multiplexer block, analog to digital converter block, microprocessor block. Now we will analyze the section one by one. So initially we are going to take the analog signals from the current transformer and the potential transformer. The analog signals cannot be given directly to the anti-aliasing filter, because whatever the data which is going to be in the signal, we have to preserve the data or the information present in the signal, right? So in order to preserve this information, so we have to follow the Shannon sampling theorem, which states that, so whatever is the sampling frequency, so this sampling frequency should be greater than or equal to twice the signal frequency. This is the lower limit. That is, when my sampling frequency, because I am going to sample the frequency at each and every interval, I am not going to take the analog signal because it is a digital process. So at various points I am going to take the digitized signals, wherein my sampling frequency should be sampled at a rate which is greater than or equal to twice the signal frequency in order to preserve the information present in the signal. Okay, so I am not going to take the analog signal as it is, I am going to take the sampled digitized signal for the processing. Now, once this digitized signal are going to be processed, then we are going to move on to your anti-aliasing filter. So, first of all, let us know about the meaning of what is aliasing. So, aliasing is nothing but it is a phenomenon or it is a process in which the signal being lost in the digitization process. That is, you are going to sample the signal at each and every instant. In this digitization process, what is the signal that is getting lost? Here I have just drawn the half cycle, okay, where I have sampled the signals at various rates. This is going to be my half of my sine waveform. Whenever this digitalization process is going to be occurring, then in that case this is going to be the proper sine wave. But here what happens, the signal content is getting lost and it takes the lower, that is, this is your aliased low frequency signal, that is, it takes the low frequency signal. So which should be avoided, because when you take the low frequency signal instead of the usual signal, whatever is the data which is preserved in the signal will get lost. This might lead to the maloperation of the relay. So thus, this aliasing is a process of the signal being lost whenever I am going to sample my signals. That is in the process of digitization, where the aliasing signal, it takes the low frequency wrong signal and proceeds with. Okay. Now, once I've got the, I'm taking the sampling signal at greater than or equal to twice the signal rate, then it is passed on to your anti-aliasing in order to preserve the information. Now, this digitized signal, it moves on to your sample and hold circuit. So, this sample and hold circuit, it is nothing but a operational amplifier circuit. Okay, you have two levels, that is, sample and hold circuit has two levels. One is the logic 1 and another is your logic 0. When it is at logic 1, it is held in the sampling position, and when it is at logic 0, it is in the hold position. It is nothing but a op-amp which charges a capacitor. So, this op-amp, it charges a capacitor during your logic 1 mode, and what happens during the logic 0 mode, it just retains that value, whatever is a sampled signal. Okay. Now, this sample and hold circuit, after the signal is getting sampled, it moves on to your mux. Mux is nothing but multiplexer signal. From the word M itself, you should remind, it is a many to one. It is called as a data selector. Depending upon the priority, it selects, depending upon the priority, it selects which data has to be transferred over a particular channel. Okay. So, depending upon the signals received from the sample and hold circuit, so this mux it sends the data, that is whatever the data from your sample and hold circuit, that will passed on to your microprocessor via your ADC block through the multiplexer. So this multiplexer will allow in which path or which channel the data has to be routed, and it sends the data to your ADC block. ADC block is nothing but whatever the data we have taken so far is your analog signal. This has to be digitized to be processed by the microprocessor. Okay, so this is analog to digital converter block. So when the signals are going to be sent from this mux, ADC is there. Okay. Now this microprocessor will issue first the mux which channel to be selected. So depending upon the channel selection, the data is going to be routed through your ADC. That is, the start of conversion will take place. That is, ADC will start the conversion. All the analog signals will be converted to digitized whenever the microprocessor issues a start off command to your ADC. It starts converting all the signals and then changes it to the digital form. Once all the data are being converted to digital, what will happen? This end of conversion signal will be sent to the microprocessor. That ADC block says that I have finished my work. Okay, so you can process the next work. That is, all the data have been converted. Now the microprocessor is in a position to issue the trip signal to the power system block. Now you are going to have the end of conversion symbol. So in that case, the microprocessor again it sends a sample command to that. That is, you can start sampling and then you can send the data to your microprocessor in order to issue the trip signal. So from this, the trip signal will be issued at required points to the power system. So this accordingly the power system will act on. So this is the working principle of your numerical relay. So just you are having the analog signals which has to be sampled at greater than twice the signal frequency, and the low frequency aliasing signal has to be removed. Then it is go on to a sample and hold circuit which samples at different windows. At different windows your signals are sampled. Then it goes to the mux to select the particular channel, and the data all analog data are converted to your digitized data, and this digitized data work upon this ADC, work upon this SOC and your EOC signals. Once this is done with, the microprocessor issues a sample command and the data comes to your trip block. Okay. So now what happens once the data are getting, that is once the digitized connection is over, so then the data are being transferred from your sample hold circuit to your trip circuit to carry out your tripping circuit function. Okay, here, so this microprocessor is going to be the software based, and it can be either the software or a DSP block. Okay, so what is the backend? What you are going to use is the Fourier transform. So Fourier transform is nothing but here the orthogonal means nothing but perpendicular. Here the perpendicular reference waves are nothing but your sine waves and your cosine waves. Suppose in case if I am going to hear this Fourier transform, it gives well idea about all the frequency components. So only I have mentioned as F here. Okay, whereas when you take your that is your discrete Fourier transform, it is just vice versa. It gives all the informations about the time, but it does not give the information about the frequency of the signal. Whereas this Fourier transform, it gives about the frequency of the signal, but the time of occurrence it doesn't say. Okay, now and this Fourier transform is very well used for a stationary phenomenon. Okay, for analyzing the stationary waves. Now you have other two types also could be used, that is your Waltz analysis and your wavelet analysis. When you say it as a Waltz analysis, it is nothing but if my reference wave, the analyzing reference wave, it is going to be a square wave with unit amplitude, then it is called as a Waltz analysis. Now moving on to your wavelet analysis, it is nothing but here if I am going to say with respect to the position and the scale of the reference wave, if the analysis is going to be made based on the position and the scale of the reference wave, then it is called as your wavelet analysis. Usually Haar analysis is one of the usually widely used analysis. So stationary, non-stationary, whenever I am going to refer my wave with respect to your non-stationary phenomenon, it is called as your wavelet analysis. Okay, so all this, as I told you, the main difference between your conventional relaying and your numerical relaying is a numerical computation which is going to be taking place behind in the microprocessor or your digital block, okay, or your DSP block, where you will be using all this numerical computation basis. The relay is going to be comparing with the numerical computation basis, such as your Fourier transform or your discrete Fourier transform, or your wave analysis, or your wavelet analysis, or your Walsh analysis. So with this, I conclude today's session. In the next session, we will be seeing about the working of your overcurrent protection relaying using your numerical protection. Thank you.